Open your mouth. Spread your legs. Clear. Let's go.
Yo, what up, what up? You already know it's your boy Pistol Pete. Welcome back to Dog of the Yard. Today we got Jose Perez in the building. Jose Perez did 20 years. He had 20 to life. At 16, he caught a robbery and second-degree murder, and he was sentenced to 20 to life. He's been home 5 years, doing great things, and today we got him in the building. Shout out to the Sing Sing crew. He's one of the Sing Sing guys. Man, you already know he's been doing out here, doing great things. And let's get right to it, man. You already know it's your boy Pistol Pete, Dog of the Yard. What up, what up, what up? You already know it's your boy Pistol Pete. Welcome back to Dog in the Yard. And today we got Jose Perez in the building, doing great things out there. And it's an honor, man, and a privilege, man, to have you on board, man.
Oh, man, it's an honor to be here.
We love to have great brothers, man, that come and they're doing it different and out there, inspiring brothers and inspire you. Because whether you know it or not, you inspire. Even it don't have to be the young people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It don't have to be the young. It's something that I look at you and be like, wow, you out there doing that, you acting that, you doing acting and all this, and you know, it's great. It's inspiring because I would love to do all that too. Yeah. I mean, that's great. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you doing it, you that motivates. You know what I mean? It motivates brothers, man. So I love that, man.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate
a little bit about you, Jose Perez. A little background, where you from, where you was raised. Siblings, a little bit about when you started getting in trouble and what led you, to jail.
Yeah. So my name is Jose Perez. I'm from Queens. I'm from Queens, New York.
Okay.
But really all over New York City because I grew up in foster care. So from the age of 3 years old to 16, I was all over the place in foster care. I was living I lived in Brooklyn. I lived in the Bronx. I lived in Puerto Rico for a few years. My father had one custody of me, and that turned out to be bad. He sent me to Puerto Rico, came back, lived in the Bronx for a while, in and out of foster care homes, and then I end up I was being abused in a lot of them homes, man, as a kid. And I grew up angry. I grew up thinking.
When you say abused, like what was going on?
I was getting my ass beat for everything, for anything. I was getting crazy punishments like kneeling on rice and kneeling on cheese graters and shit, and being left with no food. If I chew with my mouth open, my food got taken away from me and shit. Me and my siblings. My mother had 9 children. 7 of them was placed in the foster care system. She suffered from substance abuse and carceral. She was in and out of jail too herself.
Okay.
So most of her kids went to foster care.
Okay.
And you know how that is in different homes, man. That they basically pit you against their own children and shit like that. And when I became older, I started to say, nah, no more. You ain't hitting me with that belt. You ain't doing nothing to me anymore. And the streets was calling me. The streets was a place where, all that anger and rage, that I had within me, that was the place where it was celebrated. People wanted, my people wanted, me to be angry, and because that's what we needed to survive in the streets.
Right.
So when I went to junior high school, I ended up, meeting a few people that was a part of the gang culture, and that was a part of just roaming the streets. Started robbing people a lot, and then I ended up going to juvenile. I ended up going to Crossroads after the Spofford, the old Spofford.
The old Spofford Hunts Point.
Yeah, that shit closed.
Yeah, it's closed.
And they started putting people in this spot called Crossroads and Horizons. So if you was from Queens or Brooklyn, you got put in Crossroads. If you was from Harlem or the Bronx, you got put on Horizons and shit. So I got put in Crossroads, and then from that went to this spot called Children's Village in Westchester in Dobbs Ferry.
Okay.
And then from that, you know, end up going in and out of like these institutions where they put you in, and then I got when I went home from that, when I was like 15 going on 16, I went back to the streets. Just back to the streets, robbing
when you
people
say back
left
to the
and
street,
right.
back to your neighborhood?
Back to my neighborhood in Queens.
Okay.
And I just started, you know, going crazy, robbing people. People didn't like me. People didn't want me around their parties, none of that shit. And, you know, started doing dumb shit again. I end up with two of my friends. We end up trying to rob this restaurant on Jamaica Ave. And it went stupid. It went crazy. A brawl broke out. Started, you know, shooting. I ended up shooting somebody and killing them when I was 16.
Wow.
End up having to go to prison for 16 years.
So as soon as you got out the group home, and going through all that, since you was 3 years old, you went straight to jail.
Straight to prison. Straight to jail. I was doing bid since I was like 13.
Yeah.
Doing bid since I was 13, and then came home like around 15 and a half. Just turned 16, like 2 months after my 16th birthday. I got locked up for 20 years. Word.
Wow. So did you go to trial or?
Nah, I ain't go to trial. I copped out. I copped out. I had a lot of robberies, a lot of charges put up against me. I got caught red-handed at the spot.
Right.
So it was nothing for me to take the trial. I was scared to go to trial too. They was offering me 75 years, plus 10 years for each robbery. They were trying to, like, I had this judge named Robert Hannafy. They nicknamed that nigga Hang Up Hannafy, cause he made dudes hang up with the time that he was giving out. And I wasn't trying to play with them. Plus the old timers on the island was kind of like, in the law library was like, yo, you ain't got nothing for them, man. Like, you should just cop out, man. Your whole life is ahead of you. Even though I didn't believe that, I just went with it. You know, I just went with it and ended up copping out. I copped out to a robbery 1 and a murder in the 2nd. Ended up doing it for 20 to life. Yeah, and went upstate.
What was the difference when how was like from being in the group home and going to jail, like, you know, finding yourself going across that bridge, going to Rikers Island for the first time?
That shit was crazy, man. Like, being in a group home was different because you can go AWOL anytime. You know what I'm saying? AWOL. Like, I can get the fuck up out of there and bounce and not come back. You know, I've done that. I was doing that a few times, you know.
Right.
But when you locked up, you behind the wall, you seeing shit in person of everything you seen on TV. All that shit you saw in the movies and all that, now you in there.
Right.
You know, and it was scary for me, even though I tried to hide it at the time, you know, on the island especially. You know, and the island was crazy because I was going to houses, they was trying to make me give up phone calls for a phone call or give up rent. You know, some of my commissary, I had to give up commissary in order to live there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't trying to do none of that shit.
Right, of
I
course.
mean, I wasn't trying to do none of that. So every time I went to a house, you know, I was getting beat up.
Right.
I'm saying they was jumping me and sending me to another spot. I mean, I got beat up.
Were you a part of the gang?
Nah, I wasn't part of the gang,
Okay.
but people thought I was a part of the gang.
Okay.
You know, just because of my complexion, people, the COs thought I was Latin King, you know, because
Okay.
I hung out with a lot of Latin Kings.
Okay.
You know, so people, and then some of them thought that I was blood because I hung out with a whole bunch of bloods.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, and then the prisoners themselves, they thought that I wasn't repping. That I was claiming that I wasn't claiming, that I'm something that I'm not claiming.
I got
I'm saying?
you.
So they didn't like me too. You know what I'm saying? So it was just
you
crazy.
was
beefing all the time, man. And my co-Ds too was like, you know, they was always they was trying to.
So you had co-defendants?
Yeah, I had
on
co-defendants.
your case?
Yeah, I had 2 co-defendants on my case, and you know we had to, you know, they was.
So you went to the 4 building?
Yeah, I was in the 4 building. I was in C-74 when it was the adolescent reception detention center.
Yeah, it's still adolescents. It's still young.
Yeah.
For young men in there.
Yeah.
So how was that like? I mean, you there? You like, wow, now I'm really in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the island, C-74. I'm fighting. I'm going for this house.
Yeah, I wanted to kill myself, bro.
Wow.
I wanted to die, bro. Like on some real shit, man. I
And you was only 16 years old.
Yeah, I was 16, and I wasn't thinking. I thought my life was over. I thought it was nothing else for me to live for. I thought I fucked up that bad. You know, like it was nothing else for me.
You thought it was like no other choice. It was like,
Yeah.
that was it.
That was it. This is it, man.
You
So
know,
I
it's so
tried.
crazy. A lot of us feel like that, man. You know, when you find yourself caught up in them not having that support, you don't have, you know, your family, you know, you don't have a big old family, big gatherings, you know, you don't have, you was really basically raised in prison.
Yeah.
Because, you know, juvenile shit, whether you could A-walk, you still locked up. You still
locked
in
up.
there most of the time. You know what I'm saying? You know, being a Spofford, that's locked up too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I experienced that myself.
Right.
I didn't, you know, and so, you know, from 3 to 16 is a long time.
Yeah.
Them to catch 20 years, you know, it was tough.
Yeah. And also, bro, the pillows, the blankets, all that shit was the same when I went to prison. I didn't really realize it until I got older and educated. I started to realize that all that shit was meant for me. I mean, for all of us. Because the core craft and all that shit, they giving all that shit to the group homes too. I mean,
Yeah, it's the same system.
It's the same fucking system. So like, I was sleeping on the same mattress that I was
Right.
sleeping in a group home in a cell on Rikers Island. I mean, so it was like, this is what I thought it was like. This is my
Same
life.
distributors.
Yeah, same shit. I mean, so it was. I thought it was over. So I tried to kill myself one time, and they put me in the MO unit. And,
You did try to
yeah,
kill yourself.
yeah, I tried. I tried.
Wow.
They put me in the MO unit, and when they put me in the MO unit,
MOU is they could keep an eye on you.
yeah, the mental observation unit.
Okay.
My mother was locked up on the island too.
Oh.
So she started writing me and shit. At the time, I was like really resentful towards my mom.
Yeah, you was
You know what I'm
young and
saying?
upset.
Yeah, all the time.
Trying to figure out trying to ask a bunch of questions.
Word. And she started writing me love letters and poetry. And we started writing each other back. You know, I was writing poems to her back. She would tell me, write a poem to me, and I write her a poem back.
That's dope.
And one time while I was in the MO unit, this mental health counselor named Robin, she was visiting the unit. She was walking around and she saw me writing my mom's. And she was like, "What you writing?" And I was, "I'm writing a poem to my mom." She asked me to let her read it. So I let her read it. And from that, she was like, "You want to come down to the office?" Excuse me. So I went down to the office with her. We started a fucking poetry group on that shit. So that part of my bid, that shit kind of saved me right there. That even though I was still trying to run around and get the bag and, you know what I'm saying, and try to, you know, survive the way I was trying to survive. You know what I mean?
Of course.
That shit really helped me like keep focused, because she asked me to get dudes to come down to the thing to do poetry, and nobody wanted to go. They was like, "Fuck out of here, I ain't doing no poetry." So I used to make dudes go down there.
Right.
I used to like, if you ain't going down there, I used to try to beat your ass, beat you up.
Yeah.
I was like, "If you ain't go, come on, bro, we gotta go."
You gotta go, nigga.
Yeah,
Go to your
nigga,
bodies,
come on,
son.
man.
Let's go.
We need bodies. So I used to write poetry for all of them, for like 4 people. I used to write poems for them so that they can go down there and act like they poets, and I can have a spot to go to. I mean, we call that shit Future Souls and shit.
Okay.
And we that right there was what helped me like really like get my mind back. You know.
Get you off that demon time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that shit brought you back because you had something to look forward to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was something that you was enjoying.
Right. And it was I loved it. I mean, and then, you know, got sentenced after I spent 22 months on the island.
Okay.
And then ended up getting sentenced. And before my 18th birthday, I was 17 years old. They sent me to Clinton.
Okay.
Went right from the island straight to Clinton.
Straight to Clinton. How was that?
Clinton, that shit was ridiculous. Humbled me the first day in the yard. First day in the yard. And I didn't even, unbeknownst to me, I ended up meeting this brother later on, Maddie. I ended up meeting later on in college. But that brother got his his eye almost taken out his socket. Dude like came up there and hit him with I don't know what the fuck he hit him with. He hit him with some type of ice pick in his eye.
Wow.
Blood splattered everywhere. But the thing about the dude that he hit,
You was there?
yeah, I was right there. I was
That's
like
one of the worst things you've seen
one of the worst things. At the time, it was the worst thing.
It was the worst thing.
But because that was my first time in the yard. The dude turned around and beat the shit out of the dude that stabbed him. Like beat him up bad. And that humbled me. I'm like, I don't know. I'm staying my ass and out of trouble. I mean, I was a part of the Nation of Guards and Nerfs at the time.
Okay.
So I got with the guards.
Okay.
And I got with a lot of people who knew my age, you know, and they started like telling me not to come to the yard, go study, go in the general library, go here, make sure I already had my GED, so I got my GED on the island.
Okay.
I mean, before that's what kept me
So
that
besides
poetry
you
shit
getting
got
yourself
my
in
focus.
trouble and all that, you was able to get your GED on the island.
Yeah, and that shit was that was nothing to me though.
Yeah.
School never was an issue with me.
Right.
You know, I think that's the story for a lot of us too, man. Like school is never the issue. It's our environment.
It's
It's just like we ain't dumb. It's none of
the
none of us
environment,
is
the
dumb.
choices.
Right. So, yeah, man. So like, yeah, man. That Clinton humbled me. But the good thing about Clinton was that a lot of young people, especially gang involved young people, them niggas they get a knife. You give them a knife, go to the yard, bang out. I mean, don't let nobody do that. But that didn't happen to me. I mean, nobody gave me no knife.
Right.
Motherfuckers gave me books. Read this, read that. You know, study this. Study your history. Study your history
right.
from
Know
Puerto
who you
Rico.
are.
Know who you are. You know?
Facts. That's how you do it.
Yeah, and,
that's right.
and that was the beginning of my bid, and that's what really put me on a positive path. You know, from the beginning.
That'll change your way of thinking. Just finding yourself and know how you came about, and you know, it's trust me, it got me focused too.
Yeah,
because I was lost too. You know, wilding in the cell all day, 23 hours a day in Southport.
Yeah,
I'm in there wilding the fuck out, going crazy every chance I can, this, that, and all because I didn't know who I was.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I knew who I was. Yeah, Pistol Pete, the hood knew who I was, the world, but who I was, how I became, who, you know what I mean? How I was created. You know what I'm saying? And
that's
got
different.
So and to that came about. That's when I started, you know, you humble yourself. You start, you know, education is everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you don't have no education. You just, like you said, you plan on you out there running around the streets, this, that, you know, and school is not a problem. Yeah. You know, because it's there. School's always going to be there. It's us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to be placed in that environment, that situation. How long you was in Clinton for?
I was in Clinton for 5 years. Yeah.
Okay.
For 5 years I was in Clinton. I got a part of the Life as a Long-Termers organization.
What was that?
It was an organization that Larry White, him and I believe Eddie Ellis, they created like back in the 70s or 80s or something like that. And they had me up in there. They was like, you the youngest out of all of us, so we need you to come in this meeting, shut the fuck up, don't say nothing, listen to what everybody's saying, write it down, and then at every meeting, you're gonna be the first one to talk. You're gonna let us know what we talked about last meeting. You know, and then we're gonna go from there. And you're gonna just write down everything you hear.
Wow.
Everything you hear. They called me the keeper of the scrolls. And I was just doing that. That's what kept me focused, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And it was peer pressure from a different level, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew that I felt like if I didn't do this shit, like they probably was gonna pop on me or something like that, whatever. So I was like, let me chill, you know, like K-Son, Supreme Messiah, Boxing Messiah, like all these like big names that I heard of that I was like, they were the ones like teaching. And they were the ones like, you know, A Lost Son and 40 Below, Sincere, like all of these dudes was just like Supreme.
These are all guard bodies.
Yeah, all guard bodies. But then there was other brothers too that wasn't guard body too. Like Luke Mon, he wasn't guard body, he was Muslim. You had those brothers that were like, focused on on trying to clean shit up and improve the conditions of the jail.
Right.
And I was on some like, nah, I'm going to y'all. I'm gonna smoke some weed. I'm gonna be around. I'm gonna be around this dumb shit, And like they was always mad at me because I'm always around the shit that's popping off. Nothing never happened to me.
Right.
But I'm always in the mix.
Yeah.
Where shit is happening. I'm the one. Shit happened. I'm on the ground. I'm on the ground, and they go back to the thing and they see that he wasn't involved. He was just standing there. You know what I mean? But they always used to be like, yo, don't do that, man. Why you over there anyway?
Yeah.
But I always wanted to be witness to that shit. Like I wanted to be there. Like this is real life hood novel shit. I'm right here. Yeah. I don't need to read the book.
You front center.
Yeah, I'm front center. I want to see this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but the good thing about it is that all the gang members, all the big homies, everybody knew because of my age. They were trying to make sure that nothing happened to me. I'm saying like that they was keeping me out of the mix.
Yeah, kept you focused.
Yeah, like anytime some shit was about to pop off, you feel it. You feel it here. You feel something's gonna happen. But for me, I will feel it, but then I'll get the talk. Like, yo, bro, go down the hill. Nah, go up the hill. Go over there. Some shit is about to pop off right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I always got the heads up. So I always say that, like the gangsters took care of me.
Yeah.
They helped raise me.
Yeah, they make sure that you was okay.
Yeah, because they saw a child. Mm-hmm. They saw a child amongst men. I mean, and that's exactly what it was. I was 17, 18, 19, 20. I left Clinton when I was 21, 22 years old when I left Clinton. I mean, from a young kid to 21, 22.
And where you went from there?
To Eastern.
Wow.
I went to Eastern after that.
Eastern was a better facility.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. Programs.
Everything was better.
Everything was better.
Even the trouble. Even the bullshit.
Yeah. A little fist fight here and there.
Yeah,
that's it. I mean, a few times somebody get finished with something.
Of course.
But like, it's always like just a fist fight.
It's better than being in Clinton.
Right. Way better than be. I'm gonna tell you what's crazy though. When I first got to Eastern, I didn't want to be there. I wanted to go back to Clinton.
Wow.
I didn't want to be there. That shit was too loose for me.
Yeah.
Like when I first got to Eastern, dudes was getting up in the mess hall, going and walking across the other side to get somebody's piece of cake or some shit. Somebody, yo, I got something for you over here, and they'll get up. The first time that happened, I'm thinking, it's about to go down. Nah, he just went and walked over and got a pizza from a dude.
Yeah.
And they got a bakery in that shit. So all the pizza and the bread and the cookies, that shit was fresh.
Yeah.
That shit was fresh, bro.
That shit was fresh. Every day.
Every day, bro. Every day. But at first, I was like, this shit is weird. I want to get the fuck out of here. I mean, I was a
You was
shot.
just used to that life in Clinton.
Right.
You become part of that life. Sometimes, that's the problem. Sometimes
That's
you get
the
too comfortable
problem.
with the environment, with how we living, how easy you became a part of it. And you do forget about the free world, too.
Right.
When you in that zone, you ain't think about New York tomorrow or the streets. You in that zone. You in that world.
Right. And that's when you're right. That's exactly what I started to think about in Eastern, going home. I never thought about going home in Clinton.
Yeah, because right now you like, oh shit.
Right.
I left a bunch of good brothers. You missed them and everything.
Word.
You like, damn.
Word.
I just left the guards. Word, man. They had me focused. And you take that, everything you learn, and you ride with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ride with it. You make the best of it, and wherever you at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So from there you went home?
From Eastern? Nah. From Eastern I went to Fishkill.
Okay, even better.
Yeah, even a little better. A little better. It's better because you got more movement.
Yeah, more movement. It's a medium,
freedom.
right?
Yeah, it's a medium.
Yeah.
I got with the puppy program in there, so I was doing my thing in the puppy program.
Okay.
I was I ended up running it really. Like I was basically not really running it, but like the head dude that people always went to for the dogs and shit. Then the unit that I was in, I was really cool with this officer who kind of like let me do whatever I wanted and let me basically bring anybody I wanted to the unit too. Like anybody came through, any one of my peoples, I'd be like, yo, my man is here, you know, pull him into the crib. So we end up being in 3-1 and shit. I didn't do that for everybody. I did that for like 2 people, but like I ended up being it was a good spot. You know what I mean, but before I left Easton, I got my associate's degree from Bard. I got into Bard and shit.
Yeah, but before we jump into that, right? So you was when you said you was training dogs.
Yeah, I was training
Tell
dogs.
us a little bit about that because that's something new to me. I never heard of that.
So the Puppies Behind Bars program is in several facilities in the state and several mediums. It was one maximum that was in but downstate, but they closed that shit. So but anyway, the Puppies Behind Bars program, they train prisoners to be dog trainers for wounded war veterans. And we train service dogs for wounded war veterans, and some facilities did explosive detection canines. So that was basically, you get in the program, and you get to have your own dog in your cell, you know. In the cell, the beds are high. They really high off the ground so that you can put your kennel right underneath your bed for your dog. And the facility.
So they'll have a cage too.
Yeah, basically the dogs have a cage too. But at a certain age, they suppose at like about 12 months, you're supposed to wean them off the cage so that they be able to sleep without the cage. You know, so they'll get just the bed. They'll get a bed underneath your cell. It'll be regular and stuff like that. So I end up being in the program. I end up becoming a group leader in the program. And then I end up like training other prisoners how to train their dogs. I got my own dog, Jenny. I trained her from when she was 8 weeks old all the way up till she graduated. I graduated her at the facility to a Navy war vet, which is a program. The part where they graduate is called team training, which we for like a week or 2, you basically training the war veteran who got PTSD, who suffers from PTSD. You training that war veteran to use the dog to help mitigate their symptoms and their issues with having PTSD. So we teaching them like over 92 commands throughout their life. So now you giving this dog away, which was the most emotional shit that I ever went through. Like just giving my dog away to this person, bro. That shit broke my heart, bro. Like I was just, but it was a part of it though. But that you into the program for that, you know. But I didn't know how attached I was gonna be to that dog, bro. And it was crazy because I was married at the time, so I had got my wife pregnant at the time. Okay. And my daughter was born around the same time I had got my dog. So I was basically raising my dog at the same time, having a newborn out there in the streets. You know what I mean? So my dog was like my lifeline. Like every time I felt alone,
he's there.
She's there. It was a girl. She's there, Jenny. I'm saying, but I did so well with that dog. I did so well in the program that the facilitators that came in from the outside, they relied on me to like teach other brothers on how to teach their dog, how to train their dog. You know what I'm saying? So it was a great thing, bro.
You have a brother here, you got somebody here that needs to
Yeah, I mean,
I need you to train me with my dog, man, because my dog is
don't
listen for shit, man. I got a bully.
Oh yeah.
I got a bully, man. I got a standard bully. I don't know what the fuck to do with him no more. No.
Word.
I'm not. I know you laughing, but it's not a joke.
It's crazy.
I love him. He's been with me for 4 years.
Yeah.
He's a service dog now. I got him as a support dog.
Uh-huh.
He goes to Rikers Island with me.
Okay.
And he goes with me and him, and we go to the units. We talk to the brothers. You know, I mean, obviously he does his thing. They love on him, and you know, care for him and stuff. Run around with the whole block with him and all that on the island.
That's
and
fire.
all that. Yeah, do all that. But he just don't listen, man. So we definitely gonna chop it up after
we
this.
chop it up.
I definitely need some
give you
sort of
some pointers.
structure. I don't know what to do. at
Give me
all.
some
He
pointers.
acts crazy. He got his balls. I don't know if it's that, but he goes crazy when he sees dogs.
He still got.
Yeah, he goes nuts when he sees dogs. Like, it's embarrassing because
that's a part of it.
other people be like, "What the fuck? He's vicious."
He's not being vicious.
He's not fucking.
He's not being vicious. He's being a dog.
Yeah, but this shit is just too much, man.
It
I'm
can
like,
be too much. Yeah, I feel you.
I'm like, he's pulling. I'm like,
Yeah.
my man, get over here. Like, it's just nah. So I definitely need some. I need some help. I don't know what to say. But,
I got you. I give you some pointers.
And I can respect. I could just imagine what you went through when you said you had to let him go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because my dog, like I said, I love my dog. It's been with me for 4 years, but I went through some changes where I was being on some separating, for my ex.
Yeah.
And I was going through that emotional, I'm away from my kids.
Yeah.
And that's when I got the dog.
Yeah.
So he became my support.
Yeah.
Just me and him.
Yeah.
Through all the loneliness and,
And
being away. And that's the reason he's around.
Yeah.
Because he was there for me throughout that period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I did try to get rid of him a few times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I changed my mind, I guess, but my point
too
to you
hard
is
to let it go.
It was definitely hard especially you being in jail. He's there with you 24 hours.
24 hours.
How long she was with you?
She was with me for 18, 19 months.
Wow.
About 18, 19 months. She graduated at 24 months I had her since she was 8 weeks old. She graduated when she was 2 years old. So I had her for all that time. I mean,
did you know where she go at? Where she went at?
Yeah, I went. So she went with the Navy vet, and then I believe they retired her as a service dog, and now she was the first therapy dog for the NYPD. So she's a detective now, or Jenny the detective Jenny.
Wow.
Or for the NYPD. So now when things happen, she goes around giving emotional support to precincts and stuff. When if there's a tragedy,
death, something will happen with a police
funeral,
officer, anything,
anything with the police officers, and I believe sometimes the fire departments too, or something, or in a school, some certain schools.
That's cool.
And she goes around, she brings. So it's just her just being pet. She don't have to work no more. She don't have to do all them commands no more that she used to be able to do. She ain't got
used to be
nothing.
nice at that?
Oh yeah. She if you having a nightmare, she'll wake you up, turn on the lights, help you wake up. If you having a nightmare. I mean, if you in a supermarket and you need to go out in public and buy something from the supermarket, but you got PTSD. So some war veterans they get flashbacks and shit. So somebody behind them, they might think that that's an insurgent. They might think that that's somebody that's the enemy. The enemy. But you can put your dog in a position where the dog makes you feel grounded to the moment, so that doesn't happen. Put them in the got my back where the dog is looking behind you, not to protect you, but to show you that the person is nothing. Is friendly because the tail wagging. You know what I'm saying? You see the tail. You know what I mean? Or to block somebody between me and you, maybe you
coming too close.
Yeah, you coming too close, or you don't want to be that close with somebody. You can put your dog in what is called the block. So you put him right in front of you, and the dog lays down right in front of you, so that person gives you that space. You know what I'm saying?
I think that program is really cool, man.
Yeah, man. It was one of the best. It was probably, but besides RTA and the archery and the theater groups, that was the best program that I was a part of, man.
That's really cool. I think they starting something like that now in Rikers Island, where they just got one dog and they got him in a unit living there, I guess, for the whole unit, I guess. But
oh, that's dope. The commissioner of the juvenile facilities want me to help her start a program up in there. She Nancy Ginsburg, she wants me to help her because she's interested in putting a dog program in the juvenile facilities.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I haven't gotten back at her about it because I just been focused on
you got things going
other
on.
things, you know what I'm saying? So I haven't got back, but that's something
that's cool.
Yeah, bro. That'll be great for them kids, man.
No,
that'll be great.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Well, you have Legend, man. Anytime you want him, you can take him.
Yeah, that's his name, Legend.
Yeah, Legend.
I like that name.
You can pick him up. He's super dope. You're going to love him. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be like, Pete, don't worry about it. He's staying over.
Once I get a spot where I can have Pets,
yeah.
man. I'm gonna have my own dog soon.
Yeah.
The dog, cat. I love animals.
Yeah,
man.
that's cool. That's cool.
That's my shit.
That's
Word.
good. That just shows you have a great heart, man. That's
Yeah.
good. So moving forward, from there you went to college.
Yeah, I was in college in Fishkill, Easton and Fishkill. Then from Fishkill, I went to Sing Sing.
Okay.
I went to Sing Sing for my master's.
You love Sing Sing.
Yeah, I left Sing
suppose.
Sing.
Did you love being?
I went home from Sing Sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good spot to go
Yeah,
home
that
from.
was a good spot.
Yeah.
That was a good spot. It wasn't.
Yeah, because it was a little bit more New Yorkish,
Right.
more loose.
more loose.
And you was able to be more a little ready to hit the world.
Right. Officers was I was supposed to go back to Fishkill though. After I got my master's, but the pandemic hit. So, they shut everything down.
And they kept you there.
And they kept me there, and I ended up going to the board from there and making my first board and going home from Sing Sing. But that spot was cool. It was a good spot for somebody to do a bid because there's so many programs too. That's where I met like a lot of folks that my peoples now, you know what I mean? Like Blaze and them and I already knew Javier, but like getting my master's degree from there was the top. That was my goal, to go and get my master's eventually. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that was gonna open up doors for me when I came home. So like that was it. Like once I got that, I was like, oh, I'm on. Now just let me out. Just let me out. I got shit to do. I got all these plans. I used to write all my shit in a notebook. Everything I was gonna do, notebook. And I've been basically doing all of that since I've been home. Everything I wrote down.
Focus, man. Congratulations,
man.
We
Appreciate that. Thank you,
love that, man. We love that
Thank
shit,
you, man.
I love that.
Thank you.
I love that. I love everything you're doing. Everything you represent.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
Appreciate
it. You know what I mean? You came a long way. You know what I'm saying? To come back and turn around and be like, do what you do. Not everybody does that. Some people lose it and never come back.
Yeah.
So, and I can see that, that right there, it wasn't easy, but you got it done.
Yeah. It's still not easy.
Of course, because everybody has their moments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it could get, you'd be surprised. For a lot of us, sometimes it could get a little bit lonely.
Yeah.
You can still be a little bit caught up with because you've been so fucked up from being in jail and
right.
all the trauma and all the bullshit that you've been through in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it comes and goes. You gotta be able to level
right.
it and be strong minded. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't handle it, go get some help because mental help is important.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, might have need mental help. Where we could go get a counselor. We was afraid to go talk to who's gonna go down and sit somebody that doesn't dress like me, doesn't look like me,
right.
And all that. But we at an age where we might really need that. You know what I'm saying?
We definitely do.
We can't run away from the guy with the suit just because he don't look like us and all that. Because that could be your way out and your way of getting away from the issues that you're going through. So I encourage people to go counseling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before, a lot of people, what, you going to go see the white crazy counselor? You going to fucking counselor, nigga? You bugging? I ain't crazy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But deep inside, you go back home, you have your moments where you're depressed, you're stressed out, and you might need some help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We need help. All of us. Anybody who did time in a cell, man, need help, man.
You know what I'm saying? Whether you home, you always going to need that support. You'll find yourself, a lot of us could deal with it. Just a lot of us is scared to talk about it.
Right.
A lot of us is scared to just be like, I go through this shit, man. I get depressed or I go through my emotions and shit like that. Because they have their egos and some people are just not ready for it. You know what I'm saying? I encourage, if you are going through it, and to go get help.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You got to.
Because, speaking to one another's fine for a minute, but, sometimes speaking to someone that you don't know, it might be a little better sometime, because you'll be able to probably express everything that you really want to speak about.
Yeah.
Some of us you might talk to Juan, Julio, or Jose, but not about everything.
Yeah, right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage, for those brothers and sisters that coming home or are home and they definitely, going through mental difficulties and it's complicated for you out here, I encourage you to, go get some help.
Yeah, bro. Thank you.
know?
We need to. We need that.
Yeah. So Jose, man, you doing a lot of great things, man. Let's talk about all the great things you've been doing since you've been home 4 years. Let's talk about all that greatness, all that positivity that's inspired these young brothers out here in the streets, and and those that's incarcerated that will be looking at your episode.
Nice.
I want them to also know, what made Jose change, what made Jose decide that he wants to say, fuck that, enough is enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah, man. So I came home December 2nd, 2020, and hit the ground running, man. Like, I went home to my wife at the time. Things didn't work out. I was an asshole. I was just like not really, committed to that relationship. And I, made a lot of mistakes. Ended up getting divorced.
Okay.
Left. I was paroled to San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
Things didn't work out, so I had to get up out of there and come back to New York. When I came back to New York, though, man, like I made sure that I wanted to, even though things were like happening, I still needed to make sure I got on the grind. And I started working for cases, working with gang-involved youth, and helping them brothers out, fix their lives and learn how to keep a job and stuff like that. But then what I really was searching for, though, was working for some sort of place in the foster care system, because the foster care system is where everything went bad for me, and I wanted to see if I can make a change, something with my influence, with my life, with my story somehow. And
you can.
Yeah, and I have, my position, I applied for the project manager position at the Children's Defense Fund, and what I was doing was I was helping develop this pilot program, this direct cash transfer pilot program for former foster care youth. So they was gonna do a pilot and give out $1,000 a month to 100 former foster care youth that's coming out, that's leaving the foster care system as a pilot, and they wanted me to manage it. So I got that position, and we did that, but through that, I started going around the country now, speaking about my story, and through the Children's Defense Fund.
Good for you, man.
Talking. I went to the White House. I was one of 8 people that was selected to represent foster care children at Foster Care Month in May of 2022.
Good for you, man.
Yeah,
You deserve that.
I appreciate that, man. I was able.
Good
to,
representative.
Yeah.
We got the right guy. They focused.
Right. And I went. And I spoke to them about our experiences. I started going on the Hill. But then one of the things that I started, though, that I really appreciate now is that I get to talk to the new judges from family court coming in. So every year in October, around right now, I'm about to go to one of Professor Salia's class, but I get to speak to the new judges, the new prosecutors, all of them, and tell them about my story so that they can have a different mindset, different philosophy when they going in the courtrooms.
Yeah, they have a different perspective. When they look at somebody that's sitting in front of them, they be able to relate and think about what you went through when you was in the courtroom. Right. So I tell them about how what the judges didn't ask me, what the prosecutors didn't ask me. You know what I mean? Like, one of the ingredients that I always tell the judges. That's great shit, man.
Yeah. The number one ingredient that I tell a judge when I talk to them is love. If you don't have love in your heart, then you're going to fuck that kid over. You're going to fuck him over. You might as well go and get another job because you're not doing your job, So I tell them, when the child comes before you and they acting up in school and all that stuff, ask that child when the last time they had a meal, a nutritional meal, how they feel. Talk to that kid.
Yeah, what's triggering them?
Yeah, talk to them. Have a conversation with them. Don't be talking all that legal jargon in front of the kid. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on in the courtroom.
Facts.
No, you don't know what's going on.
He's not even paying attention to that shit. Because he can't understand it.
He can't understand it. All he knows is that something is wrong, and
it's either he leaving or he going out.
Right. And those feelings of worthlessness that I had with going through foster care homes, jumping from one home to another home, like,
because it was trash.
It was trash. But I start to think that nobody wants me. Kids think that. That's what we think. when you going from hopping to hop, what's that? That's a narrative being told in your head.
Right.
You know, and that's why the streets call, yeah, I'm going with the streets. Because the streets want me.
Yeah,
The
streets always gonna want you.
Yeah, they always gonna want you for all kinds of different fucked up reasons. So those are the things that I talk to the judges every year, and they love that I come and they come to me. They're like, oh my God, I didn't know. Oh, you just gave me a different perspective. Some of them want me to quit my job and work for them. you know,
that's cool.
But I'm like, nah, this is my job. You know, this is the reason. So, you know, go out there and hire somebody that's gonna love the children like I love the children. You know, because I was once one of them. You know, you gotta center yourself, and then one of the other things is like centering the voices of young people. You know, like a lot of times we got these policies in place about us without us. Like you haven't even spoken to a child about what they need.
They know exactly. They're placing you here.
Yeah.
We're going to place them in Pies 12,
Right.
non-security detention for 90 days.
Right, for 90
Motherfucker don't know what the fuck.
What the fuck? And that kid, all that kid probably needed was a few days in detention. You know, but you want to take his whole life. You know, or
have somebody,
on assignment.
Yeah, something, man.
Or take him out of the city to go visit a place. Go visit a place and stuff like that. I used to tell him, like, the punishment for me sometimes was to take the field trips away from me. That's not a punishment. That should not be a punishment, because that could be the solution for keeping me right. If you would have took me to Disney World when all the kids went to Disney World, and you kept me home, that could have been the thing that changed my life.
Yeah.
But no, you want to take the people want to take things and take things. I lived in New York City all my life.
Take.
Yeah, take. That's all they want. You know, lived in New York City all my life, but never went to a museum. Never visited the Empire State Building.
Never
the
seen the
Statue
drop.
of Liberty.
You ever seen the ball drop?
Never seen the ball drop.
It's okay. I don't feel bad me either.
Never seen it. And
I
the
don't
shit
think
ain't
I have.
dropping no more.
No,
They took the ball out.
No, it's dropping. It's dropping.
Still dropping?
It's dropping. Yeah,
I
I
heard
watched
it
it on TV.
I think they took that bullshit
Now
out.
they're gonna do a new one now.
Oh, all right.
But they had the old one this year.
Oh, okay.
But for this year coming,
Oh,
they're gonna
right.
do some.
I was
don't
talking
know.
to my man. I was like, damn, man, I ain't never going to see that damn ball
Yeah,
drop.
no, it seems like the only time that I never went, because every time that it was like New Year, be super cold.
Yeah, it be
You know,
dumb
so
cold.
this like
This
for
shit
some
was
reason
good.
this year I heard it was all right.
Yeah, this shit
and
was
I didn't go, but I had plans on going one day. I'm gonna
Yeah.
probably this year. You know, God's
Maybe I'll
willing,
go with
man.
you next year.
Yeah, we go
Yeah.
out there and
Yeah.
support the cold, get bundled up real
Yeah,
quick.
bundle up. Maybe it's not that cold.
Hey,
again.
listen, at least we did it when we was at the yard
Yo,
in the
and Claire-
penitentiary.
And Clinton,
So why we can't do it
all
while
that
watching
shit,
the ball?
Yeah.
You know, hey, you know.
Dudes was
shit.
missing fingers and toes.
So
from
we're gonna stop the
fucking
excuses
frostbite.
and we're gonna make it. We're gonna stop the
Yeah,
excuses.
man.
But I love what you do
Yeah.
with the juvenile detention. I love that. I love that you able to sit down with
Mm-hmm.
the judges and be able to let them understand that, you know, a lot of kids come from different areas,
Right.
trouble
Right.
homes. They don't get no love, no one
Yeah.
to really speak to.
Yeah.
You know, I also want to. I love that. I love that,
Mm-hmm.
and because I want to do something where, and I think you may have the power to do that. You know what I'm saying? Not right now, but all
Yeah.
in due time.
All in due time.
You know, where you be able to have, you know how they had Scare Straight?
Yeah.
So instead of having the new Scare Straight, we'll come to the house where the guy is he's about to he's about to go to jail because he's disrespecting his mother. He's not going to school.
Mm-hmm.
So they thinking about putting him in, locking him up for a little while, put him in, you know, through the system and see if he can straighten out because his mom's can't get, she can't do nothing else. He's out of control.
Yeah.
So where they'll hire guys like us, right, to come to your home, to your home, and be able to be involved with the young men that's going through these changes and take them out that environment. You know what I'm saying? Like, come with
Show
me.
'em a different
Let's go.
path.
Let's go to studio.
Right.
Let's go to today. We're gonna go to Fat Joe store and up in YC and on 157th Street in Broadway, and you're gonna go there. You're gonna work the whole day,
Right.
and you're gonna get paid.
Yeah.
I got you. You know what I'm saying? Go there, and you're gonna meet Fat Joe.
Yeah.
Yo, they got this going on over here. We're gonna things like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I also thought about some crazy shit. I also thought about implementing in the program where, you know, imagine yourself, right? being locked up, right? From your actions, you know, and because you're close to graduating. You know, remember they're about to really lock you up, right? So you're really close to going to jail, going to a juvenile detention, right? If you keep going, then this is where you're gonna go at, right? And this is just so you can have a more or less an idea of how it is or how it feels, just a little bit of how it feels to be in jail. We're gonna utilize your bathroom in your room and your house. And we're gonna lock you up for 23 hours. We're gonna lock you up for 23 hours and 23 hours. Any time that you are ready, that you feel that you can't handle the pressure of being in your bathroom for 23 hours, knock on the door and we'll let you and we'll let you out.
Yeah.
And it's over.
Yeah.
Just so they can feel what it is before they decide they want to, shoot somebody, stab somebody, rob somebody.
They can't. They won't
rob from their mother. So they can have a sense of what it is to feel like to be in jail. Because when you go to jail, whether it's a group home, they take you away from all that. Yeah. Like 1, 2, 3, you be in a room like this with nothing, and you can't get out. You can't just walk back out. You know what I'm saying? So I also thought about scare straight. So we could scare straight.
Lock your ass up in the bathroom.
Yeah, let's lock you up. So then we're gonna have.
That's what it is.
We're gonna have Jose. We're gonna have Jose Lopez. We're gonna have
Jose Perez.
My bad, Jose Perez. Right. We're gonna have him. We're gonna have Pete Torres. We're gonna have him come. They're gonna facilitate you. Right. They're gonna come today to speak to you. They're gonna bring you 3 meals. They're gonna take care of you. You're gonna be home. We're gonna vibe with them. We're gonna give them. We're going to give them therapy at the same time. And let them know, listen, you're going to go in your room. We're going to go in your, you're going to be locked. We're going to do this right here. 23 hours a day. Let's see if we can handle this, man. Because this is what it comes. This is how it feels, and even worse.
Yeah.
When you're
it's
not
worse.
around, when it's worse when you're not around. This is your home.
Yeah.
This is only an idea. This is only a feeling. Like, imagine just 23 hours inside your bathroom.
Motherfuckers was going crazy in the pandemic because they couldn't go nowhere, and they were locked up in their crib.
They was going crazy.
Crazy.
So just imagine in your bathroom for 23 hours. I don't think nobody really going to be able to do it. I think everybody will tap in and be like, fuck no, let me out. And we going to let them out, of course, because they're not in jail. But
let's have a conversation when we let them out. After you knock on that door, you can't take it no more. All right, now come on. Now let's
tell me what was going through your mind.
Yeah,
how it felt to be everything being taken away from you when you being placed at this solitary place where you can't really move and you have to stay there. And he brought you breakfast for lunch. He bring you a little bogey bag with a turkey and cheese sandwich, right, and a little juicy.
Yeah.
See how it feels.
See how you feel. Get some slop. Get some Hungarian.
But these are things these are great ideas. These are good things that to implement. That we could be able to for the judges, for the sake of not sending somebody to the system.
Right. Like that could be an alternative.
Right. There you go. When you have guys like us that hired that we could go there and we got it before we send them to the group home. Yeah. Let me get them from what?
Yeah.
And if we can help them have a change of heart and go a different direction and get this shit together, then listen, one less out the system.
Yeah, and then bring support to that brother, because a lot of kids too want to change, but they just don't know how. They don't know what's the first step. They don't know how to talk about it. All they know is being rowdy and rambling and being and just that's all they know. And especially with the gang culture now, it's weird. Sometimes I'll be like, what the fuck is what y'all was thinking? Yeah? You go online and you talk about shooting your ops and all that. You told on yourself already. Then you go out there and you actually do it. And then now dudes is looking for it's crazy the way it is now, man.
And them they sit on Rikers Island.
Yeah.
With nothing.
Yeah.
Brother, when I tell you with nothing, because I go to Rikers Island every Thursday. And I'm in there like, so what you got out of it? Oh, I ain't getting nothing out of it, Pete, man. They offered me 25 years. I'm here for a body, and I'm like, so, my biggest advice to them is everything should pass. Don't feel like this is forever.
Yeah. Because
at that moment, yes, it feels forever. When you first locked up and they give you just like when they gave you 20, when they gave me one, you like shit.
It was crazy.
Can't even see that far. Yeah. But everything should pass.
Yeah.
The important thing is what you're gonna do throughout that moment, throughout that time of you being away.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Use it wisely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, Jose took a different route.
Yeah.
He was out there. He was able to be blessed by having a bunch of brothers that was able to say, yo, hold up. They got a young brother right there. Let's snatch him up, man. Put him under the wing and teach him the ropes. Let's get him educated so he will never come back.
Right.
They did a hell of a fucking great job.
Yeah.
By the way. You know what I'm saying? Me, I went to the yard and I ran into, Chino, this nigga, how you call it, Chino Bicicleta, or, I'm just saying, Chino Puñalá, Negro, everybody that's cutting, stabbing, extorting, and went a different route, different way for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a great thing that you was. Now, I'm not saying that it was totally like that for me the whole time, but at the beginning, it didn't start off like that. I wasn't introduced to a bunch of brothers that, pulling me over. Yo, kid, come here. Let's go to education. Let's get the books. Let's get this. I didn't get that. So I had to go through, obviously, the changes of still fucking up, going to the box, doing 3.5 years in the box, getting in all kind of sorts, getting in trouble, getting beat up by the police, getting smacked by the police, and getting dragged by the police, right? I had to go through all that before coming out from all that, because everything should all pass, like I said. And them say, oh shit, let me get myself together. Let me get my GED. Yeah. Let me get my school together. Let me go to this. Let me get this together. Let me straighten it out, because if not, I would never get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm moving like I got 100 years. I ain't got 100 years. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you get caught up in the system.
You do. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, Jose? So, my thing is, I love what you're doing, man. Everything you're doing, man, I want you to know that Dog in the Yard is your platform.
Appreciate it.
This I created this for brothers like us, for brothers like yourself, to come here and be able to show these young brothers out here that's out here wilding with no education, no directions. They don't have a big brother, no father figures. They don't have nobody. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, by hearing your story and going and seeing what we went through, because it's all real. It's all documented.
All
you know what I'm saying? Like Jose did 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he was in the jail system and the juvenile system since he was 3. Like, this is not a make-up story. Yeah. This is real life shit. Wow. It could happen to you. You know what I'm saying? And it's expected to happen to you.
Yeah, that's the fucked up part of it. That's where you got to come and change the narrative. You got to have that ego to say, whoa, hold on. You trying to say that I'm meant to be here? Nah, man. I'm going to do something different. I mean, like that same energy that you give your ops and all that shit, like, you ain't going to come around here and take this from me. That's what the government is doing. That's what this whole system is doing. They coming around you and your whole family and everybody that you love, and they saying, yo, you going to end up here. Statistically, you going to end up in the fucking can.
Absolutely.
I mean, what you going to do about that? That's the real ops. This whole system that got us pitting each other against each other, and thinking that, we gotta thinking there's only one way through the fucking mouse hole. Like, we need to understand that there's so many different ways to get money.
Absolutely.
On the legal tip.
Absolutely.
So many different ways.
So many options now,
So many options.
My goodness.
Man, your phone. Your phone
but there's
got
so many
mad.
options. It's crazy. I tell my son, one of my sons, I have 9 kids. I tell one of my sons all the time, yo, I'm thinking about becoming a correctional officer, so many opportunities. Go ahead. Like, do your thing, brother. Yeah. Like, go ahead. I mean, listen, do your thing. The opportunity is there. We live in a whole new era, new wave. Listen, man, the opportunity is there. Listen, man, it is what it is. That's what your calling is. Yeah. Go get the job.
That's
Don't hesitate. At the end of the days, it has more greater benefits than the street has.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? Got great benefits. You're good. You'll be able to have a pension. You'll be able to, retire after 25 years. better than the street.
It's better than the street. I would suggest he go another route, but if that's what they want to do, like
Listen,
you can't convince somebody not to do something positive.
Listen, man,
if that's something that you want to do, go ahead.
I don't
and
want
do
it to feel because my father's Pistol P. I can't be whatever's gonna make you happy.
I mean, maybe he'll be able to change somebody's life in there too. Because I mean, not all of them are part of the beat up squad.
No, of course
I
not.
mean, like,
no.
We see what happened with Robert Brooks, man. Rest in peace to that brother,
Yeah,
man.
rest in peace,
like,
man.
Like that shit happens every fucking day in
That
every
happens.
facility.
That happens.
And nobody sees it.
What jail was that? That was
Marcy.
Marcy, bro.
That's where they send all the bug outs. That's where they send all the people that so-called have mental health issues.
So obviously the guy had probably a mental health problem.
Probably was
They
having
didn't know
an episode.
they didn't know how to adjust to it. They didn't know how to reckon because
Right.
you already know, as we all know, corrections do not give a fuck about your mental health.
They don't give a fuck.
All they give a fuck about is to lock you in, count time, where to take you from point A to point B. They don't give a fuck about your mental status, if you're gonna hang up. They don't ask you. They don't even ask you if you going back and forth all day. They don't say, "Hey, Mr. Lopez, Mr. Rodriguez, are you okay?"
Yeah.
No concerns at all.
Nothing.
So, mental health is big. It's a big problem. It's a big issue in prison.
Big problem.
It's a big issue in the streets now. Because a lot of people's getting let loose from prison.
Even for correctional officers, they say that the correctional officers commit suicide. Like, I don't know how true that statistic is, but like correctional officers, they go through a whole bunch of mental health issues where they got to resign as soon as they get the fucking job because they can't deal with that shit. They can't deal with opening and closing doors and shit.
Yeah.
Locking them motherfuckers in the cages and shit like that. Because you like a zookeeper in that bitch.
Absolutely.
I mean, like that's what's going on. And like, yo, that shit is not no place for nobody. Like, we trying to close Rikers Island. We trying to close them places and stuff like this, facilities that's getting closed. We trying to take people out of the jails, out of the prisons, give them some treatment, give them something that's
Directions.
more community. Directions, like all the programs you was just talking about, that's community. That's guidance that we need.
Absolutely, that's it.
Not just take away.
Nah.
We need to just
not just punishment.
Right.
Basically.
It's not just punishment.
No.
That's the thing that what I love about what I do in my job. Like I do my thing, like my acting and my poetry and stuff like that. That's my love. Like, I love doing that. But my purpose is like, talking to the judges. I mean, going and talking to my young foster care, former foster care youth, and letting them know, I'm here for you. Making them accountable. You know what I'm saying? Because I do payroll, right? So they got to put their hours in. And sometimes they don't put their hours in on time. And I got to tell you, missed it. You fucked up.
Yeah.
I got to make sure that they understand that, that you have to be on point. This is your life.
You're there for a reason. It's a job.
Right. It's a job, right?
Take it seriously. If not, don't have a job.
But you got to do that with love, right?
You got to do it with love.
You can't do it like
You
creating a
can't
situation
do
where
it.
you're taking it.
You can't do it treating people bad.
Right.
You can't go to your job, take out your frustration that you had an argument with your girl.
Right.
Out on the guy that just been there all day.
Right.
It's just not right.
Right.
It's just not.
Because the dude, the officer who's been there for 25, 30 years, locking niggas in and won't retire, he's doing it out of hate. He's putting you in the fucking cell in the box out of hate, pure hatred. You know what I mean? We can't do that. We got to put you in some type of a place where it's out of love. Like, you knock on the motherfucking door after we locked your ass in the bathroom for a little while. Like,
now we're gonna show you.
Now we're gonna show you some love.
Now we're gonna go out. We're gonna go eat. We're gonna bring bread.
We're gonna show you.
We're gonna inspire you that that's not where you want to be at. We don't want you in that bathroom.
No,
we want you to be out here with me, breaking bread, looking at the beautiful women that go back and forth, the beautiful world that you live in, the beautiful city that you live in.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
It's beautiful, man. I'm like, I be looking up at the sky all the time thinking like, damn, I remember when these shits was closed, when you couldn't see nothing but the sky. Absolutely. Now you can see the buildings, like this beautiful mural right here with the buildings and all that.
You know how to appreciate everything, man.
Man. Sometimes it's annoying
just the
to
way it
people
goes,
that didn't
man.
experience what we experienced,
it's okay,
but it's all right. Because, like, yo,
man.
I go through the board and I be like,
at the end of the day, you have your own way, your own way to be like, wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's okay.
We gotta breathe. We gotta
Listen,
take it
man,
all in.
it's all good, man. I've been judged forever, man.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Jose, let people know, man, how to find you. Anything else that you want the young brothers out there to know. But before that, hold that thought. What you think about prison reform? Think it's needed?
I think I'm more of an abolitionist than a reformist.
Okay.
I would like prisons to be no more, right? At the same time, we need to improve the conditions of it. So prison reform, I don't want prison reform to be this term that people use to get money.
For machine.
Yeah.
I got you.
I want it to be real life. I think the people who are mostly equipped to change things are the people who have been through it. Me and you.
Yes.
You and I are the people who
Real
should be
shit.
leading it.
Yes.
We shouldn't be letting not CEOs or non-profit dudes to come in.
Yeah,
and
or
take
rapper
over.
that never been to jail.
Never been to jail.
He's representing prison reform and he's not doing anything.
Yeah,
No.
you're not doing shit. You don't
I
know
got you.
nothing. You know what I mean? So like for me, prison reform needs to be real, and that starts with the people. There should be no policy about us without us. Like there shouldn't be no rules that's been implemented, no laws that's being implemented that affects us without us having to say. So I think that to me is important, but at the same time, we need to get rid of the jails, man. Prisons is not for people. We shouldn't be locking people up in cages for a whole bunch of time. Not to say that somebody might do some dumb shit, some real heinous shit. They might need some time to fucking think about what the fuck they did, but at the same time, we are more of a creative people. We can bring community into this people, Restorative justice is important.
Right.
The very first time you do something, there should be a journey or a path for you to engage in healing and engage in you're sorry.
Right.
My boy Patrick Stevens, he got a thing called doing sorry. You don't just say I'm sorry, you do it. You show it, you know what I'm saying? And you don't expect nothing in return. You like, yo, I'm sorry. And
Living proof.
You live that way you sorry. So like for me, all the things that I did, like I can't nothing that I can do can reconcile with having taken a man's life. Right. But what I could do is make sure that I work with the kids and work with people so that they don't do the same shit that I did.
Absolutely.
So that's something that's what it's not about prison reform, it's about community reform. Okay. We need to relearn what community means to us. And people that didn't do a bid, that never did a day in an urban community, they need to understand that they need to learn from us. They need to come and be the students because they don't know what the fuck.
Let them know, Jose.
They need to be the student because every law that they ever implemented don't work. Right. The foster care system should be abolished. Yeah. That has the worst possible outcomes, and we still rely on that shit. And support it. But once we put a kid in foster care, they're gonna end up in prison. They're gonna end up suicide, homeless, or more PTSD than a war veteran. Like that's the outcomes of this shit.
That's just setting you up for failure.
Yeah. So it's like, why are we relying on these systems? We should be relying on people like you and I more. Yes. Because we the ones that got the tools. Absolutely. We the ones that have the know-how to get someone, a young man, a young woman, when they having issues, we know how to talk to them. We got the language. We got the experience. So for me, like that's what it's about. It's more about community, putting community back into what we supposed to be doing, because it takes a tribe, man. It takes a tribe, So that's what I think about prison.
When brothers can find you at, Jose?
Well, you can find me on Instagram, j.a._Perez with 2 Z's. I got a book out. My book, poetry, Till Ink Meets Paper, Poems for Gwendolina, My Mommy, is a book of poems that's talk about how my mom brought poetry into my life. That's dope. And helped me survive 20 years. Where they can find it at? They can find it on Amazon. Hit me up, Jose Angel Perez. I'm the author. If you go on Amazon, you just click Jose Angel Perez. The first thing that's gonna pop up is Till Ink Meets Paper, Poems for Gwendolina, My Mommy. emphasis on my mommy because the child welfare system said she was unfit. You know, they took all her kids away from her. But yet she was able to nurture me with love while she was in the cell herself. You know, so I want to tell that story through poetry.
It's deep.
You know, there's 16 poems in there to represent when I was 16 years old when I got arrested.
Facts.
It cost $20.02 to represent the year that me and my mom rekindled our relationship, 2002. And then at the end of it, it has a manuscript of the first collection of poetry that she inspired. You know, when I was 17, I put it in there raw, putting no grammatical errors. I mean, no of correcting the grammatical errors, and it's raw in there, so you can read that. And I encourage everyone to read my book, man. I got a few things coming up too, so you know, a few readings. Coming up January 25th, I'm gonna be at Open Jar Studios. So like, you know, come through. If you find me on Instagram, I'll hit you up. You DM me, I give you the link for
anything
RSVP.
like that. Let me know.
And
You
it's
keep
free.
me posted. Let CK know. He'll let me know. I pull up. I support you.
Definitely,
I'll come
bro.
through. I love to see you. You know me on your action, doing your thing.
Definitely.
Question: Where's your mother?
My mother passed away.
Sorry to
She
hear
passed
that.
away in 2015. I was able to go visit her on her deathbed. While I was in.
At least you was able to see her,
Yeah.
talk to. You was able to be right there.
Yeah, she was right there, man, and she was in a coma, but she heard me. She heard the things that I was saying to her. You know, she passed away December 17th, 2015.
Did it make you feel better?
Yeah, man, it did, man. You know what's crazy?
That's what matters, bro.
Yeah, what was crazy is that I didn't cry as much as I thought I was gonna cry because I felt at peace that I was able to like let her know that because she was in a coma, I was like, Mom, if you decide to rest, you know, if you want to rest, if you're tired, I understand. I love you. I forgive you. Don't worry about everything. I got you. You know, I want her name and her legacy to live on beyond what the child welfare system said about her.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's why I put out this book.
You're gonna prove them wrong.
Right.
I got you.
Right. Because she showed me love. She nurtured me and implemented. That's why I've been doing over 20 productions. The reason why I'm always going around performing my poetry, Mad Wednesdays, the Everson Museum, all of these places.
Oh, that's dope as
You know
hell,
what I mean?
man.
Like,
you gotta definitely invite me to any of those, man. I'm gonna pull up, man.
Definitely, man. I got something coming up January 25th.
I like to definitely support you.
Yeah.
I'll be here January 25th.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
January
leave right
25th,
after that. I leave the
7
30th.
All right. Well, cool, bro. Like, I
Yeah,
invite
just
you to
let
anything.
CK know I love to pull up, support you all the time. Anything you want to come back, anytime you want to come back to Dog in the Yard, remember this is your platform. This here is for you guys. You want to promote anything, let people know anything new you want to come up with.
Definitely.
Say, P, I want to come through real quick and make a drop. You know what I'm saying? For a little commercial for this shit I'm doing. You here.
Got you.
I got you. Ain't no money charged, none of that shit. This
Great.
is your platform.
I appreciate that. I might need you next year for the
Listen, I'm here.
for the guaranteed income thing.
We here. I'm gonna need you too. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna
I
need
got
you.
you.
I'm doing a lot of things. I'm going to Rikers Island, like I said.
I would
Every
love to do
Thursday, I'm
that.
bringing a lot of brothers to Rikers Island.
Yeah.
So I definitely would like to get you involved in that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Dog in the Yard, bring you to Rikers Island as a guest.
I gotta go get my TB test looked at.
Okay.
So I can start going back upstate. Because
Okay.
I'm gonna be going to Shawanga. I'm gonna be going back in the jails.
That's cool.
Bringing poetry events and bringing
What about
theater
count me
back
in? Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We'll chop it up.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll chop it up. We there. So we
Yeah.
got to do just stay in contact.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what matters, man.
That's
we
right,
stay in
man.
contact,
Appreciate
stay
you.
blessed, stay healthy. You know what I'm
Appreciate
saying?
you,
And
man.
thank you for coming.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
having
me.
you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
And you already know it's your boy Pistol Pete, Dog in the Yard, Jose.
Peace.
We out of here. What up? You already know it's your boy Pistol Pete. Welcome back to Dog in the Yard. First and foremost, I want to salute Jose Perez and the whole Sing Sing crew, the whole casting. Shout out to all y'all brothers, man. Y'all came home. Y'all making shit happen. I mean, listen, man, nothing but respect. Salute all of you guys. Jose Perez, you're a great actor. Keep doing your thing. Follow what you're doing. I love what you're doing, and I love what you're doing for our community and for those that don't even know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, it's your boy Pistol Pete, Dog in the Yard. You already know. Salute. Queens. Peace.